Welcome or welcome back to this Homeschooling Naturopath. If you are new here, my name is Hannah and I am a homeschooling mom of 3 girls who are 11, 9, and 7, and I'm also a fully qualified naturopath living in New Zealand. On this channel, I like to share content related to homeschooling, homemaking, motherhood, as well as some naturopathic info throughout some of my content here. Today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through what my middle daughter, so my 9-year-old, what she is doing for her independent subjects for the 2025 homeschool year. And here we go. These are the independent subjects for my 9-year-old. Now my 9-year-old will be turning 10 halfway through this year, so 9, 10. She is in year 5 here in New Zealand, which is about the 4th grade for you guys in the US. So here we go. These are her subjects. Starting off with language arts. This year we are doing something totally different to what we have ever done before. In the past, my middle daughter has worked through The Good and the Beautiful. For 2024, she did The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 3. And what I found was it was actually just too much work for her. And it was too much time. And I mean, this might sound bad, but the truth is, like, when you have multiple children, you have to think about your time every day to fit everything in and everybody in. And it was taking far too long to get through her lessons for language arts every day. So this year we are doing something completely different. This is the Master Books Language Lessons for a Living Education Level 5. I printed it out in 2 books. Again, we live in New Zealand, so shipping is pretty ridiculous. I was actually able to find this curriculum here on a New Zealand website, but it was still like $200. And I wasn't there for it, so I did just go with the PDF, and it's fine. It printed fine. It's not a lot of color, so it wasn't a big deal to print. Master Books is quite different to The Good and the Beautiful. There's not as much busy work is what I would probably call it. I mean, gosh, I love The Good and the Beautiful, and the Level 3 was so incredible, but there's just a lot that was sometimes a little bit irrelevant, and I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I was really conflicted, but in the end, this is what we have chosen for her. It comes with the reader. I bought this separately off, I think, the nile.co.nz if you live in New Zealand. Now we are already on our 2nd week of homeschool. So she's already started this last week and it's been going beautifully so far. We're really enjoying it. It's definitely not taking as long as the Good and the Beautiful lessons were taking us last year. So that is a really big bonus, and it's a lot more independent. So she can really work through this on her own, at her own pace. And a really big difference is most of these lessons, even at the level 5, most of the lessons are only 1 page. If I can, let me show you an example here. So Master Books, this particular curriculum is set up for a 5-day week. However, that is fine for us because literally 1 page. This is your, day 36, exercise 1. This is all she's doing on that day. The next day, she's doing this page, and that's it. Day 3, she's doing this page, and that page, and that's it. So it's so much more, I don't know, it's just to the point. It's straight to the point. It doesn't, beat around the bush. It's straightforward, just gets the job done, and doesn't include a whole lot of fluff, I would call it. Even though it is a 5-day week layout, it's been suiting us just fine. We typically don't do independent subjects like language arts and math on a Friday, but we have been lately, and it's fine. It's not a big deal for her because, as I said, it's only about 1 to 2 little pages, and it's not difficult work. So that is what she's doing for language arts. Her base of language arts. To go along with this program, I've also got just a writing book here for her. We haven't labeled this yet or anything, but this is just a plain writing book for her to go ahead and write some simple stories in and get some good, just like story writing in. Last year, what I noticed with The Good and the Beautiful was there really wasn't a lot of writing involved. There was a little bit here and there, but it wasn't like in-depth stuff. And she actually joined toward the end of last year. She joined a creative writing competition that our homeschool group was holding, and her writing was incredible. Like, to see everything she'd been learning in The Good and the Beautiful come to life in that story she wrote was amazing. But what I was kind of feeling was like, how come The Good and the Beautiful hasn't brought this out of her? You know, why did it take, you know, this competition, this random competition, to bring out this beautiful writing from her? So while The Good and the Beautiful was great for training those writing skills, it wasn't necessarily allowing her to practice them. So, and to be honest, neither does this master books. So I am just including this alongside of her curriculum, and once a week I'm just going to have her write out a story, creative writing of some kind, to really get her to use all of those language skills that she's learning throughout her language arts course. To go alongside both of those, she is also going to be working through Editor-in-Chief. This is the beginning one, and this is from the Critical Thinking Co. My oldest daughter did this program about 2 years ago, I want to say, and she loved it. It's actually quite a lot of fun. I'll show you the table of contents if I printed it. Okay, yeah, here. So the first section goes over capitalization, and so you can see here, it will tell you there's 4 capitalization errors in this piece of writing, and you have to just find them and correct them. Super simple and straightforward. This was the one she did the other day. And that's honestly all it does. So it'll go through your punctuation. So this is like your full stops, your question marks, things like that. And I mean, yeah, it just goes down the line. What I really like too is that these little chunks of writing are actually really informative most of the time. They have like little bits of history, little bits of, you know, just like random information that you wouldn't think is important, but it actually, like, there's actually quite a lot of learning to be had. It actually does include the little lessons as well. We don't usually need to go over these, but for example here for lesson 2, which is all about the punctuation, it tells you what punctuation marks need to be used and when they're appropriate to be used. And so your child can then take that over to find all of the errors in the writing. So this is awesome. Like I said, my oldest daughter used it a couple years ago and it was fabulous. Moving up into a couple of electives here. She is going to be doing Growing Up with God from Gather Round Homeschool. We actually started this last year. She's about halfway through it. So we're just going to keep chugging along with that until we've completed it. Also from the Critical Thinking Co., she is continuing on with Mindbenders Level 3. We again started this last year and we are just going to continue working our way through it. The Level 4 does get really hard, so I don't know if I'll move her on to that when she's finished this or not. We'll see how we go. Even for myself, like as a grown-up, it's actually really challenging, some of these Mindbender puzzles. If you guys have not seen this before, it's like pretty simple things. You just need to, you know, use logic to figure out what belongs to who or who belongs to what. And yeah, but for some reason, it actually does get quite challenging. Anyways, we're just gonna keep working through that until she's finished it. For science, history, geography, and all of that good stuff, we are using these Gather Round units this year. I do have a full video with all of our family subjects, which goes a lot more in depth on all of the group subjects that we're doing. I just laid out her particular units that she's going to be working through. We've got space, earth science, dinosaurs, unsolved mysteries, creepy crawlies, and inventions and ideas for this year. So these are the units she and our whole family are going to be working through together. Like I said, if you're interested in that in-depth family subjects video, I will link it down below. I just included this. These are the weekly to-do charts that I'm printing out for my girls every week at the moment, just to give you a little look as to how we actually managed to fit all this independent work in. This week is slightly different because we have a field trip on Friday, so I've moved stuff around that we wouldn't usually do throughout the week. I just wanted to show you guys this to give you a little look at how to actually fit all of this in, because I know sometimes it can look like a lot, but it's really not. It's not actually too strenuous. And then down here, I've just written on a piece of paper, she for math is doing teaching textbooks, the level 5. So math 5 from teaching textbooks. And again, this is a big change from what we did last year. Last year she did the Good and the Beautiful Math level 3. And yeah, again, you guys, for various reasons, like it just was not working out. I absolutely love the Good and the Beautiful Math. My oldest daughter is continuing with it. For my middle daughter, it's just it was too much. You know, similarly to the language arts, it was too much. And this year we really need to simplify things. I talked about that a lot in our group subject video. Big changes happening in our family this year, so I really needed my middle daughter to be a bit more independent. So teaching textbooks math 5, we've been doing this now for, again, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going beautifully. She loves it, I love it, it's easy, there's no arguments, it's been great. All right, moving down the line, she is also doing typing twice a week as per her little to-do list here. She usually does it on a Tuesday and Thursday, so she alternates with her older sister. Typing, this, I don't have like a specific typing program that I've paid for. I know there's a lot of them out there. We just find typing games. There's a lot of free typing games online. And also what I have been doing lately is I'll type something out on a Word document and then I'll have them copy it all down and sort of time them and see how quick they can type it. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's definitely, like, typing is a huge skill that most of our children are probably going to need to know. So moving down, my older, actually all 3 of them this year are going to be doing sign language. My older 2 did sign language, I think at the beginning of last school year, and it was fabulous. We all loved it. It's an online course. I believe it goes for about 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks at a time, with a real-life teacher and a classroom with real-life kids that you can communicate with and all that. And it's just really good. My daughters learned a lot from it, and we're all really looking forward to starting sign language again this year. Duolingo, this is not something that I necessarily fit in our weekly to-do schedule at the moment, but this is something that my daughters do have on offer. When they finish their schoolwork and they have a little bit of free time, Duolingo is fabulous for learning languages. I myself have actually, I've been doing Latin on there, and it's actually a lot of fun. And then finally, for some extracurricular sports, all 3 of my daughters are doing jiu-jitsu this year, as well as rugby. And then once a week, we'll also have a homeschool sports day with our homeschool group. So yeah, there's that. And then I also just included here, I like to assign my older daughters reading for the year. So I have already laid out my older 2 daughters assigned reading trackers for the year. And I've just put out a couple of books here that they're going to be working through, just as a bit of visual reference. I don't necessarily require them to read them in order. They can definitely go through and pick which one they want to do when, but I do require that all these books get read by the end of the year. So there you have it, you guys. That is all of the independent work for my 9-year-old for her 4th grade year 5 for us here in New Zealand. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back next week with my youngest daughter's work for her 2nd grade year. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye!